Hey CMG, my name is Paul. You may know me from the group. So I'm answering a few more questions now. Let's have a look at what we've got. We've got Kuting Juan Gajitos says, what is the connection between bacon and chaos magic? Well, there is a long and very detailed connection between bacon and chaos magic. The similarities are endless. One is bacon and the other is chaos magic. I don't even know. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. I mean, you sure you can use bacon in chaos magic if you like, whatever. You know, that's fine. Bacon is tasty. It's non-vegan, which I suppose could apply to chaos magic as well. I don't know. Anyway, Jason Lee says, why is it not always a good idea to use salt water as a purifier? I'm assuming you mean like for purifying, putting like crystals and amulets and talismans and stuff inside salt water. Well, it would not always be a good idea because sometimes it could perish your things, right? If it's made from metal or maybe pewter or something, you know, the salt water might damage it or rust it, I guess. It might not always be a good idea if you could find something that was more effective, perhaps. I don't know. I personally don't use salt water to purify my things. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. You know, it's not something I do, so I can't really talk about it, I guess. I've heard of people using like moonlight and sunlight and stuff to do that, which might be effective. It might be a good alternative. You know, but using the chaos magic paradigm where, you know, belief is a tool, you could use other things, I guess. You know, you could use a smudge stick, or you could use whatever. I mean, I don't know. I think I failed to answer that question effectively. Autumn says, why are chaos mages always so damn bitter and angry, yet you are not? I see Jason Lee replied. Jason Lee says he smokes the weed. Autumn says half of these mofos do as well. Jason Lee says, I'm sure, probably other things too. Well, no, I don't smoke the weed. I smoke cigarettes. Yeah, I haven't since I was a teenager. So yeah, a while ago, many years. All right, why are chaos mages always so damn bitter and angry, yet you're not? Well, I don't think chaos mages are always so bitter and angry, you know. Oh, let me pause. All right, I'm back. Okay, we had a bit of an alarm going on back there, but nothing serious. All right. Yeah, I don't think all chaos magicians are bitter and angry, you know. I think people are bitter and angry, and I think perhaps some people who are bitter and angry might look to magic to try and you know, get power in their lives, to try and gain control over their lives and do things that they want, you know. They might otherwise feel powerless, but and like and turn to magic, you know, for an answer. I think it's not an uncommon thing that people feel disenfranchised, they feel weak, they feel kind of like these systems unfair, or that they've been treated badly, so on. And they don't have the ability to write that, you know. So magic is kind of a shortcut to that, because you don't necessarily need to be, you know, physically strong. I mean, you don't need to go and beat up these people or whatever. You know, it doesn't matter how much money they've got or whatever. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a shortcut to doing this. But I don't think that's a good reason to do magic. It's just my own personal opinion. I mean, you know, I have no right to say what's good or not. But I don't see it as being a good thing to do. because firstly, I'm not sure it'll always be effective. Magic is interesting. What I've experienced is that, and what I've seen is that sometimes, people get into magic for the kind of short-term gains, and it ends up being like a whole story where eventually, you learn about yourself and you learn about how things work and whatever, and it ends up, your goal ends up not being as important as you thought it was. But anyway, I'm kind of missioning off the point here. But yeah, a lot of people, do come to magic for power, and I think that's like with guys like Coeting or Cooting or however you say his name, is kind of taking advantage of the market there because he's appealing to that. People want sex and money and power and so on, and magic kind of affords them that. If you're beaten up at school, then at least you can, you got magic, you can do that. So I don't know. And I think, a lot of people who are kind of social outcasts, people who don't fit into the normal group, they tend to feel this way. They tend to feel, like they don't adhere to the rules. They don't need to abide by kind of societal norms and so on, and they're more likely to end up doing magic as well as like drugs and so on. But it's I think it's good. I think magic is great because it can teach people a lot about themselves, and it's a liberating thing. It's a powerful thing, especially chaos magic, because it is the way it is, where belief is the tool. You end up having to kind of keep an eye on your beliefs and keep an eye on your life and so on, because if you think about it, what you have in your life is a result of the beliefs that you have. You make your decisions based on the beliefs that you have, and that's chaos magic as well. That's the power of belief there. So what you have in your life is pretty much what you've magicked for, kind of unintentionally perhaps, but that's where it's at. So there's a lot of interesting things, ways that magic can go if you go a little bit deeper. I know most people kind of stay on the surface and look for, rituals, look for spells, look for just simple answers to their problems, and don't end up going the kind of more mystical kind of introspection route. But I think, there's a lot of openings for that, which is great. Also, it's a great community. Chaos magic and magic generally, I think, is a great community. Lots of cool people that don't judge, and that are very kind of accepting, and that you can be yourself with, and you can, share your crazy kind of thoughts with. Well, crazy kind of thoughts. Kind of not thoughts that you could share with kind of, normal people. So it's a cool community where people can. Anyway, I've totally didn't answer Autumn's question. Let me do that quickly. Why are chaos magers always so damn bitter and angry, you or not? Well, I've kind of answered that in Luna's post above a little bit in the previous video. I am bitter and angry sometimes, really, but I try not to be. I don't see any kind of value in that. I don't see any point in that. I believe that people are responsible for their own emotions. I believe that people's emotions are a reflection about how they feel about the world, not necessarily a reflection of the world itself. You know what I mean? So when somebody's angry, it means they're angry. It doesn't mean that the situation is worth being angry about necessarily. It just means that they are sensitive about that particular thing. I'm not undermining the feelings or the validity of the feelings. I'm just saying that, reality tunnels and stuff, people are very subjective in their way that they see the world. Things that make some people angry don't make other people angry, and it's just because the same situation. It's just because of the different perspectives that they have. So people don't, people feel things about situations. It's got nothing to do with the situation, really. It's got to do with the way that you feel about it and the way that you see it. I don't see any value in getting angry about things, really. I don't see it as a productive thing to do. I don't see any point in getting angry, really. I don't know. Sure, I get angry sometimes. I have buttons, I have issues. I have things that I'm sensitive about, I guess, past issues and stories and whatever, and especially if those get kind of accessed somehow, then sure, then I'll start getting touchy about things. But also, I take that as an opportunity to go and have a look and see why I'm reacting this way to these things and what that's about, and try and kind of understand it and why, and work it out. Also, I mean, I've written before about love. I've written before about the way I do magic and the way I see the world. I believe it's good to be happy. I believe it's good to try and help people. This is really what I'm all about now, mostly. I find a lot of value in helping people. This is something that I'm able to do now with my practice, which is great, and it's something that I really do value, and it's something that I enjoy a lot. Being able to help people is very fulfilling. It's very meaningful to me. It's pretty awesome. I feel like I'm just rambling now. I'm not really saying anything, which is quite weird. I don't know. I think you might be saying that why is my personality different to other people's? Might be different from the norm for chaos magic, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. That's just because of the experiences I've had, is this perspectives that I have, the things that I believe, the way I see the world. I don't know. I might not be a typical kind of chaos magician, if that's what you're saying, that I'm not angry and edgy and so on. I used to be very kind of very all about control and stuff. I used to be very kind of hard and cold and very logical and very kind of, but that's my INTJ kind of background, maybe, and also issues from the past where I had to control things to keep safe and so on. That's the story. But I've learned to feel, and I've learned to kind of appreciate things and learn to be present and so on. I don't know. I hope that answers your question. I'm rambling on a bit here. Cheers.